Yes. Yes, I'm sitting here laughing. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm just trying to wake up and everything. I just had one of those problems where the Euro bag didn't work. Yes. On the third, I had to go into the urinary place, toilet, because the urine was not coming into the Euro bag. Means that the tube was plugged. So I'm not gonna run to the hospital, but so I pulled the plug out. The plug, it's a tube. It's 14 inches long. Just get a to get a vision of it. So I pulled that tube out, and I know I have to clean it. So I clean it as much as I can. Here we go. I'm just waking up, Yeah. So I clean it. Then I put it back in. Then in just about 5 minutes more, it's plugged up. So again, I pulled it out. And, there's a whole process, You have to be very clean about this. Oh, very clean. And of course, there's there's an ointment. It's called Mega Heal, and it keeps the infection out. So you have to put the ointment Mega Heal in, put it in, and then I have a system of trying to suck out anything that's plugging up the tube, so I don't have to pull the tube all the way out. Well, it wasn't working. That little system right there, I went through it 10 times on the night of the 3rd, from about 5 o'clock until about, I'd say 7, because you have to do it really slow and meticulously, and you have to know, how much urine you're supposed to be coming out and everything. There's so many things to it. I'm just saying this so people, because there are people out there that have urinary problem and would like to just do it the cheap way. What is it? 50 rupees for the Euro bag. Then I think it's 100 because it's a silicone tube that you put down. It's called the catheter. Yeah, catheter. It's like what the actual tube is called. So the catheter goes in. So here I am, just hoping that I'm gonna make through it tonight without having to do it all night long. Yesterday. Yeah, so then, in the morning, you have to go to the hospital. And I'm not going to pay, some big rate on hospitalization or something like that. So I just go over to the Ramakrishna Charitable Hospital. And you got to get there real early, too. Yeah, I walked, and that was the time of the monsoon rain hitting at the same time. Okay, so you go all the way over to Ramakrishna Mission, then you sit in line, and just to finish it up, yeah, so that was the third night. Now, I'm on the 4th of July, the Independence Day, of America. Okay. So now, Fourth morning, fourth morning, I go to sleep with a completely empty Uro bag. Just because I don't want it to fill up too much at night and pop open. So, okay, now, I woke up at, let's see, I would calculate, yeah, I laid down around almost 10:30, 11 o'clock, yeah. So from 11 o'clock till 5 in the morning, that Uro bag filled up 2 liters of urine. Yeah, 2 liters of urine. That's an extreme exchange from almost nothing the night before and a lot of difficulty. And it was getting plugged up with calcium. For some reason, my body was releasing calcium. I don't know if it's coming right in the urea or it's coming from the urinary bladder. But calcium, so much calcium deposit was plugging it up. And then all of a sudden, it's completely full, the bag. And that hasn't happened for quite a while. The bag to fill up so much. Oh well. That's that. Made it through the night. So, I'm not a doctor or anything like that, but it sure is easier because you're not on an emergency, now I have to run to the hospital at 8 o'clock at night and wait until no, you just calmly do things, take a little pain. Yeah, it's painful. Take a little pain and put the tube in carefully. Don't shove it. Yeah, don't shove it in there. Yeah. Just to say, history. Before I started the sitting in the air, the sitting in the air exercise, before I started that, the muscles down there in that area were not, and the skin also, it wasn't strong. So it would easily bleed. And then you have to worry about the blood staying in there because urine's not coming out. It's just so complicated. So I make sure I clean even the urinary. In other words, the canal from the urinary bladder. There's a canal from the urinary bladder out. So with my little tube, I just suck on it and it cleans out that whole system. And of course, when I'm cleaning, I can see a little blood, but now nothing. Just to tell you that the sitting posture, like the sitting in the air, is helping to build up the muscle. Of course, there are other factors too, that help build up. I'm taking that creatine, the amino acid called creatine, but in a safe way. Yeah, the safest creatine, the oldest creatine, the oldest type of creatine. And I take just a little bit, like 3 grams of it, and it helps build up the muscle. So I can see from what has changed within my body that this creatine helps out to build muscle. That's the point there. The point in all this is that because your muscles, they lose mass. And when they lose mass, they can't function. Even just in the urinary system, they lose mass, they can't function. So now I know that my skin within my urea, the urea is the canal, remember? That skin has become so strong that it's not bleeding. It's still painful to push it in and pull it out, but it's not bleeding, which makes me so happy. And I was able to see that there was calcium coming out. So there's some change in my body is getting rid of calcium at this age. You know, I'm almost 80. So it does work. That sitting in the air does work. Matter of fact, the second time that I did the sitting in the air, something just exploded. And a lot of blood came out. So something in there was, not good skin and it was real delicate. And then that, of course, I cleaned it out as much as I can with the tube, putting it in and out. And now nothing. Now I'm on the second week of doing the sitting in the air, and I was amazed. 10 times putting that 14-inch tube down and pulling it out, and painful, but no blood. That made me super happy. And I'm trying to figure out what in the heck made such a change that my Uro Bag was like about to explode this morning. I say 2 liters, but it was full. So the urinary bladder must have had even more that it wanted to send out. So makes you happy. Yeah, it makes you happy. So for those persons that are having urinary problem and want to do it the cheap way, not the hospital way that you have to go there and pay so much just for a bed. Yeah. Let's see. I can tell you I spent 2,200 rupees. 2,200 rupees. That's it. Hardly anything, like maybe $20. Maybe $20 I spent on all that process. Yeah. And if you do all these things personally and take, you just have to be clean. You have to use clean water. You got to keep everything very clean, no matter what. The Mega Heal, it's just like an amazing cream. It helps. So the tube goes in and out. Yeah. Yeah. Jai Gornitai. I know they're. I don't ask them for help. One time, a family, you can't just live somewhere and not make somebody mad. So I made a family mad. I couldn't understand why they were so mad at me, but they got so mad at me that they took me into their house, and 3 of the men were beating me with the cow sticks. Yeah, they were beating me with the cow sticks. Yeah, and the father, he slid the door shut. Right. Okay, so now you have the scene, uh, bridge bosses, strong bridge bosses, beating some foolish American, with sticks really hard, you know, and the father, standing. I love that father so much. Oh, he was so strong. Yeah, old person, but standing there like a very strong person. A misunderstanding. A misunderstanding. Yeah. And all of a sudden, here we go. They have a room where there's no windows, no nothing, and they opened up that window and they were going to throw me into that room and continue. So, father has already slid the door shut. I heard it. I saw it. I heard it. The door is shut. And then I just said, learn to string it, Dave. I'm not going to ask you to help me because I must have done something wrong. Learn to string it, Dave. But I'm thinking of you. I'm just thinking of you. That's all. That's all you should know. That I'm thinking of you, Lord Nashringadev, but I'm not begging you for some shelter or anything like that. I'm not joking. I heard the slide come open with nobody standing around. And I said, that's because it's dark in that room. I said, that slide is open. So what I did is I jumped past the three boys and the father and pushed the door open because I fell to the ground on my belly, and I fell into the nollie outside. Yeah, I was full of nollie water, black nollie water. Oh my gosh. So then I just was outside, and I know they're not going to come outside to do anything. I was without her dhoti, shirt all ripped up, blood on my body. Yeah. And here I was, down near Lloyd Bazaar. This is 1980. 1986. No. Even no, 1989. 1989. Yeah, so then here I get out of the nollie, and what do? I gave obeisances to the father, because the father, wonderful man. Wonderful man. Just a misunderstanding. So I just walked like as if nothing had happened. No dhoti, half a shirt, beat up, blood coming from different places. And I says, well, I got to go all the way to the ashram, staying at the Gurukula ashram of Krishna Balaram temple. So I'm walking down the road, and it's late at night. And a policeman at the turn off to go to Banka Bihari, there's always a policeman there. Actually, there was two. And they could just comment that, boy, what a crazy guy. Walking down the road, a shirt just hanging off of his body, no dhoti, and no shoes, and blood stained. So I got to the Gurukula, and the devotees, they took care of me. I didn't tell them the whole story. I didn't want to get into the misunderstanding that somebody had. Yeah. But I was happy. And I was so happy that the next day I left. take a little shelter, Yeah, yeah. Uh, I did have a return ticket, but not for that day. So I just left. I stayed in Matura. Oh, that's right. That's right. That's right. I stayed in Matura. Yeah, to complete my Kartik. I didn't want to leave Braj before Kartik was completed, so I didn't leave until the full moon on that year. That year. Yeah, yeah. So incredible. Yeah. So that was a nice, actually, so wonderful, so wonderful situation, because you get purified, and you're getting purified. You did something wrong somewhere. Yeah, so I don't like to pray for Krishna to help me. You know, just try to remember him. Okay, okay, yeah. Yeah, now it's morning time again. And I'll, I'll also mention a medicine that they gave me. It's called Posto Guard. Posto Guard, 8 gram. 8-gram Posto Guard. Taken one time after the last meal. And that medicine, I'm pretty sure, made a significant change where the urine came out. Urine should have been coming out, but for some reason it wasn't coming out. And that Posto Guard is because of the prostrate. So some way that prostrate. See, I'm telling you, I can't understand this because the prostrate is outside of the urinary bladder. It's outside of the urinary bladder. And this tube goes all the way to the inside of the urinary bladder. So how is this prostrate blocking that tube? It's going around it, but if you can get past the prostrate, how is it going to block it? Well, for some reason, it was not allowing the urine to come out of the urinary bladder, and now it was just, after that medicine, it was just like coming out like a flood. It was flooding out. So I'm back to being happy. Yeah, okay. I know this is going to help somebody. Anybody that has a lot of men have urinary problems. Not just one or two. A lot of men have urinary problems. So don't take it so serious. Just go buy a Uro Bag, put the tube in, and consult with some doctor some way or other. keep it into the system, and then go on. I'm 10 years on a Uro Bag, and it's helped me out a lot. Yeah, it's helped me out a lot. Oh well, there's always funny little statements. One time I was sitting in a rickshaw, the back part of the rickshaw. I didn't want to sit in the crowd, back part of the rickshaw. And I got my Uro Bag sitting right next to me. And then all of a sudden this person, who's really, really anxious to go someplace, he jumps on the back of the rickshaw as it's moving, and then just tries to force himself into the back seat where there's hardly any room, and he pushes with his back end on my Uro Bag. Well, the Uro Bag popped open, and I saw the urine go on him. You know, but it was just so nervous about going somewhere that he didn't even notice it. So then, as we went along the way in that rickshaw, all of a sudden he wants to get off, and the rickshaw is still moving a little bit. So he's just like, pretty. He's pretty good at it. He jumps off, and then after he jumps off, he feels his side of his body is full of it's wet, completely wet from my Euro bag, and I'm just sitting on the back of that rickshaw, just like laughing my head off. My God, oh my Lord. So there's some funny things that happen, Yeah, yeah. Okay, leave it at that. Life can be fun. Life can be fun. Don't worry about it.